So here's how the boilerplate code for a while loop would look like. Okay, so if you have a problem in which you'll have to use a while loop, okay, here's how the code in general would look like. Okay, so you'll have a counter which will start with one essentially, but you can start with zero as well. Or if you're counting down, you can count with some value from where you want to count down from, right? Uh, the second thing is you'll have a result, and a result which will at the end which will be displayed, right? So display result, okay, and the result will have some initial value, okay. Now in this case, in the previous example, the initial value was zero because we were adding, right? Now the initial value may change depending on your program, right? So if I want you to find the product, an initial value of zero would be incorrect, right? The initial value must be 1 in case of products, right? And then we'll have the while statement. So while counter is less than equal to some value, and the some value would dictate how many times these set of statements are executed, right? So this can be 5, 10, 100, right? Whatever value you provide, these set of statements would be executed these many times, right? Inside the while loop, which is to say that preceded by these tabs right here, okay, what you do is you update the result variable, right? Update the result according to the problem statement. Okay, so if the problem wants you to find the sum, you'd say result equals result plus, right? If it wants you to find the product, you'll say result equals result times, and so on and so forth, right? So you update the result variable. Finally, you update the counter, and in this case, I'll say counter equals counter plus 1, okay, or counter plus equals 1. You could also say counter equals counter minus 1, okay, completely up to you. So this is a boilerplate code for using while loops, okay. So any problem that has while loops sort of takes a similar structure, okay. You have a counter variable, you have a result variable, both of them have some initial values which will depend upon what your problem is, okay. Then you'll have this counter, less than or equal to some value. It could also be greater than equal to some value, or not equal to some value, or even equal to some value. Again, it depends on how you set your counter and how you update the counter, okay. Finally, you'll have inside the while loop, you'll have the result which you update, okay, and the updating of the result would be done based on the problem at hand, right? And then you update the counter variable as well. And again, the update will dictate how you check it, okay. They're all very closely knit together.